Hello, I'm Semele Sherry of Triple Moon, and today I wanted to tell you a story first about what's been happening here with me and then explain the significance of that. So, as you may know, I moved recently to a new house and a new area, and in the last couple of months we've started work on the house and the garden. And what happened first of all was, whereas my focus had intended to be on the house first, we've had beautiful weather, unusually beautiful weather here in West Wales. And so the friend that was helping us and I decided to focus on the garden instead. And we had really simple ideas of just having a nice seating area at the top of the wall that's opposite our conservatory. And that was my plan, just to have a seating area. And then what happened was, when my friend, who is also very spiritually aware, was up there sort of scouting out the land, he began to see where an existing bed was already placed, a shape of a yin-yang symbol. One bed was already sort of emulating part of that shape. And so he began to work with that idea of creating an area where the yin-yang symbol encapsulated the whole seating area. And then as we began to work, the most extraordinary thing happened. As we dug out of the earth, rocks and stones were coming out of the earth that were just exactly the right size and shape to fit in a particular part of the wall. We also were guided to dig out our box of fossil collections, which my partner and I had been digging up for a while, but sort of all around the country. And the fossils were incorporated into the wall as well. And then my friend was also saying, you know, you need a pagoda, a roof over this whole seating area, so that, you know, maybe if it's raining or even if it's very sunny, you can get some shade too. And sacred geometry symbols started to come out as well. So we began to incorporate those also into the yin-yang symbol. And also, yeah, we could reuse all the plants and everything that were there. So currently we have a bit of trellis with some honeysuckle and some jasmine growing up it. And so that's going to be trained up onto the pagoda roof, which is going to be a star tetrahedron shape. And so it will be a living roof. And it's just been extraordinary being part of this process, seeing and feeling into what's been happening. And so afterwards, I just began to meditate on this and ask Spirit, what is this about? What does it mean? Because it was such a vivid, alive process. It felt as if the garden, the land here, the garden, the plants, the stones, everything that was here was asking to be placed. In fact, my friend at one point said, you know, I'm looking at these rocks and stones, Semele, and they're telling me where they want to go. And that's exactly how it felt. And so as I meditated on this afterwards, the work is still in progress, but as I meditated on this afterwards, I was told this is the work of the seventh ray. And so I then began to research that a little bit. And what I discovered is that I'm not going to go into the cosmic rays now in great detail. There's lots of really good information on the internet or in books if you want to explore that. But essentially there are 7 cosmic rays which all are represent and carry a particular aspect of divine expression, of Source's expression in creation. And all of us, all living beings, are profoundly influenced and built kind of on these cosmic rays, on the influences of these cosmic rays. And so what's happening now as we're going into the age of Aquarius is that we're moving out of the influence of the 6th ray, which has been predominant in influencing humanity and the earth for the last age. As we move into the age of Aquarius, the 7th ray is coming into prominence and will be influencing us very, very profoundly for quite a while to come. And this 7th ray is the ray of ceremonial magic. And it has many, many meanings, not just the obvious one that that title suggests, but it's essentially the ray of the magician. It's about being able to anchor spirit, to anchor ideas and inspirations and templates, if you like, from spirit into physical form on the earth. And that includes us as human beings. It's about being able to work with the devas and the elementals to bring those forms into being. And it's also about a bringing together, a synthesis of humanity working with nature, working with the planet, working with the spirit for the good of all. And so when I read that, I was like, wow, that is what has been happening here. So where my simple seating area, somewhere nice to sit and enjoy a cup of tea or coffee and look at the garden, has now become essentially a temple because of all the sacred geometry, because of the way the garden itself was asking to be shaped. Now, I don't use that word lightly because, again, as you may know if you followed my videos and my blog, I'm a big fan of simplicity. I'm not really one for sort of a lot of drama and complicated ritual in my spirituality. It's very, very simple. And yet what I was clearly being shown here is that it can still be simple, but there is a need for me to anchor this seventh ray here where I live and in my life more profoundly, more consciously, if you like. And so I now have this space with sacred geometry that represents spirit meeting matter, that represents the balance of polarity, masculine, feminine, spiritual, material, that's going to help me honor and follow the rhythms of the universe, which is also what the seventh ray is about. It's about working with those natural universal rhythms and laws to create the divine plan, essentially, on earth. And so I now have this space that is just perfect for doing that. And so also, obviously, it's given me the idea of I will probably want to do group work here now and work with clients, which is not something that I had intended or had in mind when I planned this seating area. That was all it was going to be. And now it's become this beautiful sacred space that's been built in complete harmony with nature and the environment where I am, that has evolved itself. It's been a complete and magical co-creation, and it has been the most fantastic experience. So I just wanted to share that with you because that's my experience of the seventh ray, but just to tell you, give you a brief idea of what it means, because you may find this energy manifesting in your own life, and I just want you to encourage you to follow it and to see where it takes you. And don't be surprised if, like me, you start to be taken in directions that you've never felt you needed or wanted to go before. My heart and spirit are so excited now about the idea of having this space, and it is a temple. It's a sacred space in which to work, and in which I feel I will be able to work with spirit and work with nature, the devas and the elementals, and really bring through what my soul is feeling to manifest and what source wishes me to manifest on earth. So an exciting time. So sending lots of love to you, many blessings, and I hope you can see some of the gorgeous flowers that have been coming out here in West Wales. It's just, the garden's looking fantastic at the moment and I'm enjoying the weather. So many blessings to you, lots of love, until we speak next time.